was told to do that, and he just went along and did it. You know, and they always try and lock in bigger fights or future fights before other fights have been made, and that's
my focus. It's Daniel.
And you have no doubt that you're going to beat him?
I think I win. Yeah, I believe.
He's been in with, but I believe that he has weaknesses and it was nearly exploited in that first fight. I mean, that's the punch I always felt would give him.
Joseph Parker ignites controversy with a bold warning ahead of the explosive Usyk versus Dubois rematch. His statement has shaken the boxing world, lighting up debate among fans and experts who are now questioning everything about the outcome. With tensions boiling and anticipation at its peak, one thing's clear, this rematch is a powder keg ready to blow.
Quit in the Joe Joyce fight. I mean, I'm not sure what the problem was with the eye. Maybe it was a proper problem that he had, and then the Usyk fight got down with a jab. So these fighters were able to make him find a way out, or maybe it got too hard for him. I don't know what's going on in Daniel's mind.
The former world champion Joseph Parker didn't mince words when breaking down the high-stakes rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. While he praised Usyk's technical brilliance, Parker issued a stern warning: this isn't the same Dubois. According to Parker, the young Brit has transformed into a dangerous contender, and underestimating him could be a costly mistake, with Parker himself looming as a potential opponent for the winner, fresh off statement victories over Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang. His words carry serious weight. You can never write Daniel Dubois off, Parker declared, pointing to Dubois' gritty comeback after defeats to Usyk, Jarrell Miller, and Anthony Joshua. Now armed with the IBF title and a team firing on all cylinders, Dubois heads into the July 19th Wembley rematch, not just to redeem himself, but to unify the heavyweight division. This isn't just a rematch, it's a war for all 4 belts.
You have to say you went in as an underdog against Jarrell Miller, and you went in as an underdog against Filip Hrgovic, and you performed and delivered on both of those.
I know, it's just coming through that, it's just building. Those 2 fights were like my redeeming fights for me, so bouncing off of that, I'm the man of the future now, so it's just building me and building my character, and I'm a battle-hardened fighter now.
And I've been able to see the resurgence of Daniel Dubois. It's been beautiful, it's been amazing. He's been able to change the minds of those who doubted him, and the big win he just got over Joshua was remarkable.
I know you won't be looking past Joseph Parker, but you made your presence felt in Riyadh last time out when you called out Oleksandr Usyk. Is that realistic? You think that you can get to him again, and what would you do differently next time?
Yeah, I wouldn't let him off the hook next time. He got away lucky last time, so I need to right that wrong and get my revenge. But first things first is Parker, so yeah, all eyes on.
Interestingly, Daniel Dubois was originally slated to collide with Joseph Parker in February, but a sudden illness forced him out during fight week. Parker, unfazed, took on Martin Bakole as a late replacement and demolished him in under 2 rounds. Though dominant, the victory disrupted what many believed was a long overdue clash between 2 of the division's most dangerous names. Fans anticipated a quick rescheduling, but Dubois shocked everyone by gunning for an even bigger prize, a rematch with Oleksandr Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight crown. In a major development, WBO president Gustavo Olivieri has now confirmed that Joseph Parker will receive the first crack at the unified champion after the Usyk-Dubois rematch. Usyk, undefeated at 38, has built a legacy of mastery and evolution, becoming undisputed cruiserweight king in 2018 and conquering the heavyweight throne by 2024 with monumental wins over Joshua and Fury. Meanwhile, Dubois enters the rematch with unfinished business after a controversial 9th round stoppage in their first encounter.
I'd say they couldn't give me that because of the political state. It wasn't just a fight, and you know they sort of got out of that one a bit. But anyway, I'm going to have to put the record straight and clear up the controversy and make sure that I nail him to the canvas this time.
Was it a low blow? The answer to that is yes, it was a low blow. Under the Queensberry rules, if a punch lands on the belt or the box area, then it's considered a foul, an unintentional foul. If it's below the navel, then it's a low blow. It doesn't have to be directly in the gonads for it to be a low blow. It doesn't have to be direct full force impact straight in between the legs. And the punch landed on the belt line, and if you look at Usyk's belt line, you can see his belly button just sort of steering out the top of his belt line. You land a shot on here, this is a good shot, it's a body shot. The referee didn't do that. Bottom part of the glove was on the actual shorts, on his scrotum area, really quite low, too low really. So it was a legitimate low blow.
Joseph Parker acknowledged Daniel Dubois' evolution since their first fight, describing him as a transformed fighter, focused, dangerous, and hungry. He praised Usyk's experience and surgical fight IQ, but warned that ignoring Dubois' raw knockout power could be a costly mistake. Parker stressed that Dubois' explosiveness is a real threat and could be the X factor in the rematch. While Usyk's ability to dominate with control and precision remains unmatched, Parker reminded everyone that one punch from Dubois can change everything. Meanwhile, heavyweight contender Martin Bakole, recently stopped by Parker, boldly claimed he's the only man capable of dethroning Usyk. Bakole, who's been preparing with southpaws, argues that top names like Joshua and Dubois still struggle with Usyk's movement. Despite his setbacks, Bakole remains certain he'll get his shot and win against the Ukrainian champion.
Because Usyk, nobody, I think, except me for right now, because he beat everyone. I don't know, because I don't know that the one to Wilders, I think, is that. But Usyk is boxing man, a boxing brain, the boxing movement. I don't think no one will stop him right now, except Martin Bakole. I know why I'm saying that, because I learned box from my brother who's Saxpo. Not only learn from that, but I know how to stop and cross the ring. But Daniel Dubois does. I was respecting the Usyk to get beat by a Gypsy King.
As the rematch looms, the boxing world is still buzzing over the controversial fifth-round shot from the first clash. Former cruiserweight champion and respected pundit Tony Bellew didn't mince words. He's adamant the punch that dropped Usyk was clearly low. Bellew shut down any debate, pointing out that the blow landed squarely on the groin protector, which is there for a reason to block illegal strikes. In his view, the referee was absolutely right to call it a foul, and he doesn't expect the rematch to play out much differently if both men stick to the same tactics. While fans continue to argue over the legality of the shot, Bellew stands firm, defending the ref's judgment without hesitation.
I think Daniel Dubois, he's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll, so I think that fight's going to come down to mindset.
Chris Eubank Jr. is all in on Daniel Dubois, calling him unstoppable after that earth-shaking win over Anthony Joshua. But don't get it twisted, Oleksandr Usyk is still on fire, riding a wave of dominance. This isn't just a brawl, it's a war of momentum. Both men are locked in, and Eubank Jr. says it loud. This fight will be won in the mind, not just with fists. Can Dubois' raw fire and aggression disrupt Usyk's icy precision and chess-like strategy? The stakes are through the roof. It's power versus poise, fury versus finesse, and when these two collide, the ring won't be able to contain the fireworks. This is the heavyweight showdown boxing fans have been waiting for.
I saw something about Usyk saying that he thought Conor Benn won the fight. I don't know if this is true. I can't imagine that he watched that fight and thought that Conor Benn won, because it's just, I landed twice as many punches. But people are telling me it's true. If that's the truth, then I'm low-key rooting for Dubois.
Team Dubois, absolutely.
Because that's crazy. That's really crazy to me.
Dave Allen has just dropped a bombshell ahead of the Usyk-Dubois rematch. The British heavyweight, who's gone toe-to-toe with both men in sparring, says Dubois might just shock the world. Allen admits Usyk is a genius in the ring. He even suffered a concussion sparring the Ukrainian. But he sees something different now. Dubois, in Allen's words, is transformed, stronger, smarter, and more relentless than ever before. This isn't the same fighter Usyk stopped last time. Allen believes the raw power and newfound discipline in Dubois could be the perfect storm to dethrone the champion. It's a bold claim, but coming from someone who's felt both fighters' punches firsthand, it's a warning you can't ignore. This rematch just got even more unpredictable.
Nearing 40 as a small heavyweight, because he's not a big fella. He'd never seen on the ego, and he's outstanding. He isn't a big bloke. He's not a massive man. I'm 6'3", 6'4". But I'm like 27, like, and I'm walking around at 21 stone. He's not a big man. He's quite slim. So I just think it's going to be hard for him.
Carl Froch isn't ruling out a seismic upset. While he admits Oleksandr Usyk is the favorite heading into the rematch, Froch sees a dangerous new version of Daniel Dubois, one that could end the reign of a legend. After brutally stopping Anthony Joshua, Dubois has transformed into a complete, confident, and vicious heavyweight force. Froch believes the timing is perfect. Dubois is peaking while Usyk may finally be slowing down. No longer the raw, inexperienced fighter from 2023, Dubois now brings youth, momentum, and knockout power that could expose any cracks in Usyk's armor. The tide might just be turning, and Froch's warning has the boxing world on edge.
Well, this is the rematch, and Dubois is a different animal. He's a better fighter now. He's had some great wins against Jarrell Miller, Hrgovic. He absolutely splattered Anthony Joshua. We've seen that fight, and he's now full of confidence. He's on the crest of a wave, and he's a guy now getting into the ring really, really solidly, believing in himself. He's like a new fighter. He's now IBF world champion. He's not beating the champ to get the title. It's like
Daniel Dubois and his promoter Frank Warren aren't just hoping for victory, they've plotted a game-changing strategy to dethrone Oleksandr Usyk. After dissecting footage from Usyk's previous fights, Warren is convinced the key to breaking Usyk's dominance lies in one crucial area: his body. The body shots that landed during their first encounter, though controversially ruled a low blow, have now become the cornerstone of Dubois' approach. Dubois himself has referred to that punch as a divine strike, believing it proved his potential to land devastating body shots if given the opportunity again. With this targeted attack, Dubois is confident that he can disrupt Usyk's rhythm and expose a vulnerable side of the undefeated champion. Will this body-focused strategy turn the tide and hand Dubois the win? The blueprint for victory is in place. It's time to see if Dubois can execute it.
It's quite a different stylistic proposition than Anthony Joshua.
It is, but they know each other. They've been in the ring together. They've shared the ring together. I know he can hurt him. I know that Usyk, who I've got great admiration for, he's beaten every British fighter that he's been in with. But I believe that he has weaknesses, and it was nearly exploited in that first fight. He has to.
Frank Warren isn't just talking confidence, he's practically guaranteeing victory for Daniel Dubois in the highly anticipated rematch with Oleksandr Usyk. Warren has boldly stated that his team has cracked Usyk's code, knowing the Ukrainian's habits and tendencies better than even Usyk's own trainers. The plan? To not just win, but dominate in such a way that there's no room for doubt, no chance for controversy or officiating disputes. This time, Warren insists the result will be clear-cut. Dubois' path to victory is simple yet powerful. Target Usyk's body, stay relentless with the jab, and push the champion back. Warren is adamant that when Usyk is forced to fight going backwards, his effectiveness diminishes by 70%. This fight is shaping up to be a clash of the titans, youth versus experience, power against finesse, redemption against legacy. But will Dubois' firepower be enough to topple Usyk's reign? The world will be watching in July.